They say blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. Amara and Osas weren't sisters by birth, they were sisters by soul. Bound by love, tested by time, and torn apart by the man they both couldn't let go of. This is not just a story about love. It's a story about envy, betrayal, and the silent wars that begin behind closed doors. Because sometimes, the ones we trust the most are the ones holding the knife. Amara and Osas were inseparable. From the moment they met in their first year at the University of Benin, their souls connected like sisters separated by fate and reunited by destiny. They shared secrets, food, laughter, even clothes. When one cried, the other felt it. When one rejoiced, the other celebrated like it was her own victory. Everyone on campus knew them, the unbreakable duo. Until love came between them. His name was Toby, tall, intelligent, effortlessly charming. He was in his final year when the girls were in their third. The kind of guy that turned heads in lecture halls and melted hearts with just a smile. One sunny afternoon, he met Amara at the library. Their friendship started with innocent conversations about books, but soon turned into late-night chats, long walks, and shared dreams. When Toby finally asked Amara to be his girlfriend, she said yes with tears of joy. Osas smiled too, but deep inside, something shattered. Osas tried to be happy for her friend. She really did. She laughed when Amara talked about Toby, gave her relationship advice, and even helped her choose outfits for their dates. But each time she saw them together, holding hands, whispering, laughing, her heart twisted painfully. She buried her feelings deep, pretending they never existed. Toby, innocent and trusting, saw Osas as Amara's loyal sister and treated her with kindness. That only made things worse. Osas told herself she could move on. But some feelings refused to die quietly. After graduation, life moved fast. Toby secured a good job in Lagos and introduced Amara to his family. Within a year, wedding bells rang. Osas stood beside Amara as her maid of honor, smiling through her pain. When the pastor said, "If anyone objects to this union, speak now or forever hold your peace," her heart screamed, but her lips stayed sealed. As Amara walked down the aisle, radiant in white, Osas whispered to herself, "Maybe this is how my story ends, watching love from afar." But fate wasn't done with them yet. Marriage was sweet at first. Amara and Toby were blessed with twin boys, and their joy overflowed. But parenthood is never a fairy tale. Sleepless nights. Endless chores. Amara's life turned into a loop of crying babies, dirty laundry, and unwashed dishes. Toby came home tired and detached, leaving her to drown in motherhood alone. Her once slim body grew heavier. Her smile faded. Her confidence disappeared. Meanwhile, Osas's career blossomed. She was glowing, independent, and beautiful. When she visited, she would console Amara, pretending to sympathize, while secretly thinking, "If I were his wife, I'd never let things get this bad." It began subtly. Toby would call Osas to ask how to help his wife. She would offer advice with a soft, caring tone. Soon, the conversations grew longer, from minutes to hours. One evening, Toby showed up at Osas's apartment after a fight with Amara. He said he just needed someone to talk to. She welcomed him in. The air was thick with emotion. He spoke about his frustrations, she listened with tears in her eyes. Then one moment of weakness, a touch, a sigh, turned into a scene. That night, Osas crossed the line she had been dreaming of for years. And she didn't regret it. The affair continued in secret. Toby told himself it was just comfort, not love. Osas told herself she was just claiming what destiny denied her. Amara, clueless and trusting, continued to confide in Osas. "He doesn't look at me the same anymore," she cried. "Don't worry," Osas replied softly, "men just get distant sometimes." But behind those comforting words was guilt, and a dangerous hunger that kept growing. One day, Amara found a message on Toby's phone that would change everything. A message that read, "Last night was beautiful. I've missed you already." Oh! Her world collapsed in seconds. Her knees buckled. Her breath caught in her throat. She confronted Toby that night. He denied it at first, then confessed. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife, not just because of her husband, but because of who he betrayed her with. She called Osas, screaming, weeping, shaking. But Osas said nothing. Only silence filled the line. Because sometimes silence is the loudest confession. Amara sank into depression. She stopped eating. Stopped smiling. Stopped living. Toby tried to apologize, but his words meant nothing anymore. Osas, now isolated and despised, tried to justify her actions. "I only took what was mine," she whispered to herself, though the guilt clawed at her every night. Rumors spread. Families got involved. The once beautiful friendship that inspired many on campus had now become the cautionary tale everyone whispered about. Years passed. Toby and Amara divorced. Osas never married him, guilt and karma wouldn't let her. Toby lost his peace, Osas lost her glow, and Amara slowly found strength again. She built herself back up, piece by piece, for her twins, for her future. One afternoon, as she walked past the University of Benin gates, where it all began, she smiled faintly and whispered, "Some betrayals break you to rebuild you stronger." But as she turned to leave, her eyes caught a familiar figure sitting under the old campus tree. Osas. Her once radiant friend, now frail, staring blankly at a wedding invitation in her hand, Toby's second marriage. Their eyes met. No words were spoken. Only silence, heavy, painful, and full of everything they once were. Amara walked away without anger, only peace. Because sometimes, the best revenge is healing. And as for Osas, she finally learned that no happiness built on another woman's tears ever lasts. That day, the wind whispered through the trees, carrying a lesson only the broken could understand. Betrayal may win the battle, but truth always wins the war.